Welcome, everybody. So you are here for Jenifer Salter's Back to the Basics webinar. Really, we're going to be talking about the shifting market and really how to focus on the fundamentals, right? Those key performance indicators, those things that are going to get you results and meet more people today. But what I will say is I'm sure of you have all these expectations about what you want to see in this webinar, answers that you want to have, whether they're related to the courses that you've taken with Jenifer, or this new Back to the Basics course she's released, or something out of the, like, hey, I just want to know more about how to do the type of transactions and amount of transactions she's done over the years, especially with these type of top of funnel leads, right? With leads that are generated for Facebook, how she becomes so successful at doing this year in and year out with the top of funnel. So save those questions. And if you have questions in your mind right now, put them in the chat feature. As we're going to address that. We're going to do a Q&A at the end. Okay, so they're all going to, but we're going to save that for the end so that she can single-handedly go through them all. So I would ask you during this presentation, during this webinar, keep yourself muted. Definitely turn on your camera because we want to see you. We'll probably we'll pause from time to time to reflect on a few things if anybody has particular questions about that subject we're going through. But with no further ado, Jenifer Salter, take it away.
Hey, everybody. I'm so glad there's so many faces on here. I'm so glad you came. But I'm like very peppy today because it is so freaking beautiful. It's February here in North Carolina. And we have like the flowers blooming, and today was in the 70s. All I wanted to do was like drive the hour and a half to the beach for real, because it is so pretty. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and share my slide. So I was mandated to tell you guys about myself, which to me is like, I don't want to talk about myself, but I'm going to. So let me go ahead and get this up so you can see. All right, so let me move this window over. And let me just tell you a little bit about myself, just so you guys, if you don't know, yes, I was a teacher for 12 years. I love it. Really, every job that I wanted to go into or have had something to do with teaching or educating. And, to me, that's where I get a lot of my energy. I really, really enjoy it. So just a few things about myself in case you guys don't know me. And I put this on here for a reason, because I want to just explain why this is helpful to maybe your clients or leads. So I came in from teaching, and my first thing was I didn't want to just be a realtor, because yes, it's difficult to become a real estate agent, and even more stringent if you become a realtor, because there's more code of ethics. But I really thought the endorsements and designations would be important. But again, I didn't want to go broke. So I was very strategic with the designations I chose, and a lot of them, and we can go into it later, but you could get really for $40 or $50 to have something that you can share with your clients that will separate you. And that's going to be very, very important as we continue the conversation. So I have the C2X endorsement from the National Association of Realtors. It's like a commitment to excellence, and it's a training that focuses on ethics in real estate and just increasing your knowledge with that. At Home with Diversity was a very interesting course that you can get a designation for, but it really looks at everything with the cultural significance and how real estate markets work and why it's important and what to be on the lookout for. So I think that's been very helpful as well. I have my seller representative specialist designation. I really wanted to concentrate on working with sellers. And when I didn't have a lot of background, I really wanted to have the designation to my name. So I really did that when I decided to focus on my sellers, which is now most of the business that I'm working with. I also got a real estate negotiator certification, which is so easy, but you can use it. I mean, it's great tactics and strategies for helping your clients navigate. I also, in the last year, actually, it started in June of 2022, I began my team after a lot of my mentors asked me. I'm a certified mentor with eXp Realty, so I take newer agents that are new to the industry or just haven't had a lot of transactions, and we set business goals, and I help them through the process so that they can really be settled and on their own. It's a great program, actually, with the firm I'm with, just to kind of really get that one-on-one and attention and not feel like you're out on an island. And other little awards that whatever. I mean, that's all great. I hate talking about myself, but I did want to show you my team because we just actually brought on Charlene Bowen. So now we're a team of 8 as of yesterday. And it's been really, really wonderful. So now we'll just go ahead and keep talking. Oh, now I'm going to be completely honest. Okay. And I'm going to tell just a quick story. So I am very transparent, like 100%. To me, my business is your business, because I really think that's the way people learn the best is, I always feel like when I watch something, if I'm only getting part of it, I feel like I'm not getting the information I want. So I want you guys to know that when you take this course, it really is, and I told this to Jonathan Whiting, this is a work of heart. Like, this is my business. And I wanted to be so transparent because Jonathan and Marcus wanted me to share about myself. And this is part of what I want to do. I'm going to show you like literally how many transactions I've closed in the 5 years that I've done this. And I think it's important because yes, I feel very confident. I have definitely hit my goals. In my eyes, I have a lot of experience, but being completely honest, some of you may even do more business. You may have different sales volumes, and that's okay. Goals can be different in real estate for you to feel successful. So sometimes I feel like it's helpful to talk to someone that may be more aligned where you are. So I'm going to be completely transparent. So here we go. So we have a 12-month cap, okay? My cap resets May 1st. So as of now, my year, and I still have how many months? March, April, May, June, May, sorry, 3 more months. So in this last cycle this year, so far, I have 22 transactions that I've worked on. 20 of them have closed, 2 are going to close. Both of them are street text. Now, here's the last 4 years. So let's go through it at the beginning. So this is when I came into real estate. Now, I taught until August because I did summer school. So I wanted to get with the company and kind of learn things. So I was not producing really until August. And from August until my cap reset, I did 14 transactions, which I was very proud of, for not being in it a full year. And that was my first year. The next year, 24 transactions that year. Then in 2020, 31. Another 31 in 2021. And this year so far, again, my cap reset is not until May 1st. I've done 20, and that's with the market being slow. And I only do this so you can exactly see what my business is. I'm not selling 100, 200. This is all me as a single person. So now that I've just started this team, I'm starting to see that they're bringing in and they're learning, and the training's been going well, and they're becoming more and more active. So now that you've kind of seen all my business, which I think is important, okay, let's just talk about the promo offers that that Street Text was willing to offer today for you. So if you were to buy the Back to Basics, this market shift, then you would use this promo code today, Back to Basics, and you'll get 50% off the course for today. Now, I have 2 courses with Street Text. Both of them are similar topics, but one revolves more heavily around the street text context, and one of them is more for anyone in the business, right? And if you were to get both of them for today only, they've offered a promo code where you'll get 50% off the total cost of those courses. So, take a look, and of course, no pressure. I'm happy to be here, but I think that it will help a lot of people because it's very, very in-depth. Now, let's just talk about the Back to Basics course. So this course has a lot of content. So just kind of a general overview. The beginning starts with a little introspection because you really have to know kind of who you are as a person. And we start with the DISC assessment. And I think that's really good because what it does is it helps you understand your strengths, your motivations, and that will allow you to align your business towards your motivations, because your motivations in life and in work may be very different than mine. So I think that's very, very important. Then we do an overhaul on your schedule. We talk about the difference between time blocking and activity blocking, because honestly, there is no right or wrong way to do it. You have to find the good balance. So I introduce both and then show you how to use Google Calendars and how to set you up for success. And I wanted to say this. So Marcus, are you like, okay, you're not modest, right? So I can like do the dirty work and talk about you real quick.
I'm trying to work on the humility here.
Okay. So this is really funny, you guys. Okay. And I'm saying this because it really made me think of there's no one right way to do something. So yesterday, Jonathan, Marcus, and I hop on a Zoom call. Oh, Marcus knows where I'm going with this. So we hop on a Zoom call, guys, right? And Jonathan and I are talking, and then Marcus, like, chimes in or whatever. And here there's no shirt. Like I could see that he's not wearing a shirt. So it's like, it kind of distracts Jonathan and I from talking altogether. And I'm like, well, thanks for showing up. Don't put on a shirt for us, right? And then the conversation got going about Marcus and, hey, isn't it like 4:00 your time there? Don't you wake up at 4 a.m. and do your workout and stuff? And Marcus said something that was really cool because he said, I've decided that in the morning when I wake up at 4 a.m. and I have my coffee, I basically, I feed my mind and my spirituality. And that's my time to, do his daily teachings and like learning, I guess, from the Bible and all the great stories. And then he feeds his body, which is actually what he's doing because he's fasting as well. So when you fast, it's like, he's feeding himself spiritually all day before his body. Now he's completely changed his schedule from what it was. And it made me think about your schedule. So this course is going to introduce a different strategy for working your whole day and like your thought process about it. And I think neither one is wrong. So you have to, in this course, you're going to be introduced to a lot of content, but it's going to allow you the freedom to really make it yours and make it resonate with you and your motivations and aligning with who you are, because that's important. I think a lot of realtors, we want to do the next best thing. And then what ends up happening is we're following someone else and it's not authentic and it feels unnatural and it feels like just extra work. And that's not the way it should feel. That's not the way it should feel. So then we kind of take a look at prospecting. I mean, that's the big one, right? And when we talk about prospecting, we're talking about open houses to win, okay? Agent previewing of properties, this or that templates on social media. I give you a year of free social media posts so you don't have to think about it. And we talk about batch posting, where you post to multiple social media sites, LinkedIn, Google, TikTok, all at the same time. So that way you're freeing up more of your time. You're making better use of how you're posting the content and it's taking too much time. Then we go through with the follow-up. We're going to look at email campaigns, nurturing, and what to do with your vendors, your photographers and your inspectors to make them start bringing you some business, because that's what a business relationship is. You have to have mutual benefit. And if you're not, then it's time to look for different vendors. And we go into that. Then maintaining your business, right? The people you have under contract that are getting to the closing table, how to keep that level of professionalism. So we talk about, and I give you templates that you can use, strategies to win and make sure that your clients always feel in control of the process. And lastly, knowing your market like a top agent. This is the perfect market for that. And we're going to dive in deeper. This course has 38 different in-depth lessons, 18 videos. It has templates that you can use. I give it to you for free, 80 ready-made social media posts. Now, if you were to buy the other course that I have too, a lot of you have already taken it, the conversion course. It also has 38 lessons. And if you look at the overview, it's very similar, but the context is completely different because a lot of it revolves around how to incorporate that with street text and how to use street text as the main source of your business. Am I going too fast, Marcus?
No, this is perfect.
Perfect. Okay, so there's been some questions flying around, either asked to myself or Marcus or Jonathan. And these are such like key questions that I wanted to kind of just address it, right? So someone asked, like, what strategy should I focus on in this market? So I was like thinking about it, and I thought about what I have done to shift what I'm doing in this market. And I thought this was so funny. Have you guys seen this picture? Just read that. I mean, how funny is that? Realtors, when they figure out how easy it is to get some designations, it's like, perfect, sign me up. And so for me, right now in this market, because it's definitely ebbed and flowed since the height of 2020, when the market was insane and difficult for different reasons, but agents were getting calls and it was very busy. So now is the time where we're going to have to educate ourselves, because we have to know what we don't know, and we have to strengthen what we have a surface level of knowledge on. Designations are a great way. You are going to stand out with the competition. Branding and updating your brand, okay? So with your brand, go and change your business cards, get some new headshots. It does not have to cost money, but you need to change that look and freshen things up in this market. You need to have presence. And every time I think of presence, I think of Linnea Carver, because that's her big thing, being omnipresent. And there is a way to do it and strategies behind it that won't feel like you have so much to do. These are all baby steps, guys. So let's just start. Like today, you're here and it's to learn and to chat business and to get excited. And that's the right thing to be doing. And lastly, following up. I have so many leads that have just reemerged, and I'm going to share that with you now. So the follow-up, why is this all important? Okay, well, let's just take a look at the market. So 2020 to 2022, as you know, low inventory, low days on market, like maybe a day, right? Low rates, they were between 2 and maybe 3.25. They were very, very inexpensive, which brought a lot of people to the marketplace. There was multiple bids on houses though, so buyers had a really rough time, because while they were out and ready to do something, they were paying like $100,000 over asking price. It was just very difficult, but for different reasons. There was no contingencies. Oh, you want an inspection? We don't care. Oh, you want to, have a rent back? I don't think so. Everyone was totally geared towards the sellers. It was a steadier economy, even despite the coronavirus. Things were still steady. The rent was increasing. Now, take a look at 2023. Also low inventory, painfully low inventory. There's been a very subtle dip in selling prices nationally. So while they are starting to go down, it's still quite high because there's low inventory. However, with the rates that are hovering between 5.5% and 6.5% right now, even though historically it's low, it's definitely not what people were used to seeing. So they're a little hesitant. Do I have to move? Should I move? Is it going to be a good deal? And that's bringing a lot of low buyer interest. And also, one thing that has just started to happen, and I heard Tristan, how do you pronounce his last name? Ahumada? Am I right? Lab Coat Agents. But I heard him talking about it, that this market guaranteed to bring some agent numbers dwindling down, because as the market shifts and business is not at a frenzy, all of those people that went into real estate in 2020, 2022, or any agents that don't have that good grounding are feeling like they have to jump ship. And because of that, that gives us an advantage to really push through and be competitive. So we are also living in an inflation economy. The cost of groceries and restaurants and everything has gone up. Rent continues to go up. That's something that has not shifted. They're still getting more money. Buyer approvals are down. Like in my area last month, they had done like from 6 months to this 6 months, like the last 6 months. And they realized that there's 11,000 less applications for a home. Now, this tells me that our target market's a little different. There are going to be different reasons that people are moving or selling in this market as opposed to 2020 and through 2022. I thought these, I'm a fact girl. If you don't know that, I'm a fact girl. So I found these two facts. One's from Forbes Advisor and the other from the Association of Realtors. So it says, though this is the 130th consecutive month of year-over-year price increases, it's a record streak, okay? The year-over-year increases are at a slower pace compared to where they were last November. Now, month over month, existing home sale prices continued their downward trend and now are about 11% lower than their record high, which was in June. It doesn't matter what the cost was. So that's very interesting because prices are coming down, but only a hair. And right now, it's a very good time for us to make sure we're engaged with people who looking to buy a house or don't understand that rents are still going up and they'd be better served if they could get into a home. Existing home sales fell for the 12th straight month in January. And that's a year-over-year sales falling 37%. It's the biggest decline since 2010. So this is very important to kind of look at so we get an overview of what the market is doing. Now, I love this. Next time you feel a little uncomfortable, okay, the pressure in your life, remember, no pressure, no diamonds. Pressure is a part of success. And I think this is really important. And I am not a cheerleader, but I read that and I thought, even me, I feel like I've become established, but I was feeling the pressure. And I thought, this is good because this is the time. Either you leave, you stay, and you work smarter. And that's what I'm going to do for sure. Another question that's been asked is, okay, people are more cost conscious now because the market has shifted, prices have gone up. So as realtors, do you double down on what you're spending or do you cut costs? And so for me, it's both. And I'll tell you what I mean. So eating out, I'm doing less of that. Netflix and my cable channels, I might cut back on the ones that I don't watch, right? My posting services, I had a few posting services that posted for me. And I cut one of those down that was actually quite expensive per month. So agent previewing, okay? So I've taken some free opportunities to get out there and get leads and get engaged and let my community know that I'm an active real estate agent. So when I don't have a showing for the day, I'm going out and I'm scheduling appointments as an agent. And in my course, we go through what you can do, what you could post, how you can use one tour that you take yourself on in a home for weeks of social media content, because ultimately your buyers and sellers want to know that you are in the business. You're in the business. So that's very, very important. YouTube is free. So as you share and you talk and you do little short videos, doesn't have to be formal. You post it on YouTube, you post it on social media, you get your views and your community reach up with natural, no cost ways. Buyer and seller guides. I've created and revamped my guides and made sure all of my buyers and all of my sellers know the steps to selling or buying a home in my state. You'll get those templates as well. I wanted to talk about ad posting days. It looks like I skipped that. Street text is my ad source, okay? I haven't found anything close to the platform and I've used them for years. So I know because that's most of my business. Well, I'd say a good chunk of my business is street text all day long. So what I've done, because obviously the cost per lead in your area may have gone up, with a raise of hand, can you guys like show me, has your ad spend gone up for the price of leads? Yeah, I see. Jean's like, yep. So what I do is I thought I'm going to put more towards my ad spend, but here's how. I'm not spending anymore. I turn my ads off, and I didn't used to do this. So when you see prices kind of normalizing, then resume it all week long. But what I do is on Wednesday or Thursday, I start testing my ads. I put 3 up there and I increase my ad spend per day just a little bit. And the best performing one, I turn off all the others and I let it run because ads perform the best towards the end of the week and through the weekend. And then come Sunday, I wait to see, is the price starting to increase? If it does, I turn it off. And then what I do is I share those street text ads, because we have the link, and I share them on my social media at no cost. You can do that. Street text has allowed us that option. So I explain how to do that in my course as well. So again, both. You do not want to drop your cost for your advertising and your reach to your clients, but there are ways to cut down and change how you're spending and be more cost conscious. Another question is how to get them to answer the phone or email. Okay, nobody, well, maybe some of you like to make phone calls. It's tough for me too. Take a deep breath and, I do it. But guess what? Most people, you need multiple times to actually attempt and try to get them on the phone. Most people want to be sought after, and they have done study after study. The first 2 times you may get a no, or you may get no response, but you continue to try, because what you're doing is you're not pestering. You have to come to them adding value, not saying, are you ready to buy a house? Are you ready to sell a house? That's a no-go. Now it's time to really ask to see how you can help them and what you can do. And the relationship is what's going to have them trust you and move forward with you. So today I'm sharing a text and email script. And I know it works because I'm going to share another story. I shared this last time, but I have an update. So this script is completely free and you need to do it today. Your buyers in your contact list, I want you to send this to all of them, and you can send it by text or by email. It is very, very effective. Okay. Now, I used it, and I used, for everyone that had a phone number, I texted, not on your normal phone, guys. Use your Google Voice number. Too many calls on your normal number. If it's marked as spam, you won't get calls. So like, you have to just be careful with how you're doing it. Okay. Oh, before I get
you got to share that. You can grab that and post it to the chat feature, or are you going to do that at the end?
Remember, before this, I shared with you the template. You're going to share it. I shared with you the link, the PDF version.
Oh, yeah. Okay, God. John, you're on that.
I'm on it. So,
John,
okay.
you get on it.
Here's some additional thoughts when it comes to calling and emailing. And my course does look at this too, okay? Because you guys, I mean, unless we're all scientists, who wants to spend the time to research all this? I've kind of done it for you, so you can kind of just implement, which is good. But when are you making the calls? What time of day are you calling? People do go out and they're working. So we talk about what time of day is best. I want you to think about when you're calling them. Are you calling them on a Monday, like at 9:30 in the morning, when they've just sat at their desk, had their cup of coffee, finished chatting with everybody, and now they're ready to work and you're bothering them? Immediately, it's going to be a negative thing. So we talk about what times of the day are the best. How many times have you tried to call them? If they don't pick up the phone, do you leave a message? Don't. I know people say, yes, leave a message. Don't leave a message, because right away they're going to decide if they want to block you and not hear from you. Do not leave a message. You call them, they don't answer, you send a text. Okay. What are you saying to them? What is the conversation that you're having with them? For me, I am not down for a sales pitch. I cannot handle it. I never sell someone when I'm calling them on the phone. I'm adding value. Then the conversation opens up and my conversation shifts to, great, here's what I would recommend. Let me get you in touch with a lender who I know can handle this. Would that be helpful? Great. Do you think you'd like to know the steps of the buying process? I'll send it to you. Yes, that'd be great. Then you're in, because now you're offering help. You're not asking anything from them. And what's the purpose of your call? What are you trying to do? And it's important to frame that before you pick up the phone. And I am not a proponent of scripts. I have some scripts, but for me, it has to be natural. It has to be natural. All right, here is the script, okay? I give you the text version. You don't have to copy or screenshot this. I give it to all of you. And this is just a buyer script. I give you seller scripts and renter scripts. So I texted this person that came from street text, silent, quiet as a mouse, for a year and a half, guys, a year and a half. She was just there. She opened emails. She opened her property alerts, never talked to me. I said, hi, Renita, going through my list of buyer leads who have not yet purchased a home from me. You've been on my site. Oh, excuse me. This one was 9 months, for about 9 months. Last we spoke, you were looking for a 4 to 5 bedroom in Smithfield, Selma High School. Have you purchased a home or you're still looking? Please let me know either way. And I attached my business card. Still looking, but pre-approval has changed, and I block it out just so I'm not giving all the details. But her price went down because rates went up. What she could afford went down. I said, I'll adjust on my end. It's a great time for buyers because negotiations are back. When would you like to see a few homes in person? Would love to take you on a few home tours. And then she tells me that she actually went to a few open houses for new construction homes. She told me what it was listed for, and it's been on the market because, you know, new construction is always on the market longer. I'm not sure if the seller would accept that much of a decrease in price. And so I say, I'm happy to try. Would you like me to send agency paperwork so I can represent you? And then we could submit an offer. Now, I've never even met this person. We can discuss by phone as well. Absolutely. You've done so much more than any other realtor I've talked to. I look forward to working with you. Well, that was 3 weeks ago when we had this last kind of webinar. We are under contract, baby, and we close in like 2 weeks. So I'm so excited. I went out and finally met her and her family. They were so excited. Now, I thought about what have I done so much? But I realized I have my email campaign running. She's felt connected because I've sent her properties. I've touched base with her by email. I've now texted her on the phone. She feels connected to me. And that's why it's so important to set yourself up for success. Have stuff going to your buyer and seller. No one should be in your database that has nothing being said to them. And we talk about that in the course, what you set up. So everyone in your database has something. All right, another question. What ads are you running? Adult diapers. Anyone know what that means? I said it last time. Anyone know? Nobody?
Ads for seniors.
Nope. What ads are you running? Adult diapers. What's the adult diaper brand? Depends.
Depends. I was just going to say it.
Yeah. What ads are you running? It depends. So, all right, let's talk about it. Now, can you believe I found this picture on Canva? Isn't that the weirdest thing? I looked up adult diapers and this guy shows up on Canva. Very strange.
We're worried about you.
Hey, Leon. So here are my favorites, okay? Because I wanted to diversify and become more geared towards sellers. Seller ads are still my favorite. I just love them. So here are a few that I'm running, okay? This was one ad that I ran about scheduling a time to chat about, you know, your home services and get your questions answered with a picture of a testimonial. That was also remarketing, by the way. That was a remarketing one. Don't let expensive home repairs catch you off guard. That's a remarketing tool. And it went out to all my database of old seller leads and everything. I got a lot of leads on that as well. And what's your Raleigh investment home worth? So these were good remarketing ones. This is my favorite buyer ad. You know, the one that's like, see all available homes with, and then you put in the stuff. Well, main bedroom on the first floor, I think is something that a lot of people are looking for. So this brought in a lot of people. Now, in my opinion, I know some of you love your buyer ads, and I do too. But you have to understand, those are the ones I find take the longest to convert. Maybe I'm wrong, but to me, there's a lot of looking before you even make a plunge. I mean, before I bought my house, I was just browsing on Zillow for like a year and a half, just because it's fun to look at houses, and people should have that opportunity on your site too. And that's okay. That's part of the process. Not everything is instant. So actually, this should say sellers because I showed you the remarketing, but bad on me. These are my favorite seller ads that are not remarketing. I do the what's your home really worth. This is just a picture of what, is in street text, but this is what I change it into. So in my area, you're not supposed to use the word value. A lot of people do, but I am like very much straight laced when it comes to my license. So I change it and I try different things. These were the two best performing ones in the last few weeks. I did a map in Canva, put little houses and made up some prices. And it says, enter your address, receive your home's worth. Another one right here, just a different picture. So I test out different pictures. And I'm going to tell you something that I think is really interesting. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but I'm a nerd, so I think about stuff like this. To me, this house is so pretty, right? Every time I've ever put a blue house, one that I've sold or whatever, I don't get the leads. And it came to me. Facebook is blue, guys. It blends in with all of Facebook's colors. It does not stand out. So what I've found the most success with, and this is not an example because I use this one so much, but it was a winter shot and right now everything's blooming, so I don't use it, is a yellow house. Yellow and blue really pop. I know that's silly, but there's your little tidbit. If you're putting a picture and it's like a blue house or a blue something, think about it because it blends right in with everything else Facebook. All right. So here's a bit more about the Back to Basics course. So let me see if I can get this back to the beginning. Hold on. It's so much to talk about, guys, that I didn't want to bore you with all of it, but here's kind of the course, the way it's laid out. So you come into it and you have your introduction, a quick question, get you thinking about things. You're going to take your DISC assessment. You're going to take your value findings, which will tell you what motivates you in life and at work specifically. And it's just a good way to start the course. And then I ask a few questions about your findings and what it says about you and what surprised you or any takeaways. Then we jump into managing your schedule, which is very, very big for me. It's the key task that you should format your schedule around. Activity blocking is something I created, I think. I've never seen anybody else coin the term. But I've used activity blocking and I share with you what that's all about. And then we kind of take a look at your current schedule and I ask you a few questions. Then we talk about prospecting to grow. Everything from open house strategies to win. I give you a template that I use that you can use because it has helped me have very successful open houses where those leads stick with me afterwards, after the open house, because only 6% of houses are ever purchased from an open house. So most likely your buyer is not coming into that home. So you need to be ready and willing to engage with them with similar listings so you can jump right on it and take them after the open house. Agent previewing of properties, how to do it where it's actually successful and you can use that content. This or that templates, you may not know what that is, but I give them all to you and you get that today, by the way. Social media posts to attract people, get an audience. And I give you the whole year's worth of templates you can use. You don't have to think about, they're ready-made. Batch posting, how you can schedule out your year of posts at one time in minutes, okay? Door knocking tips and tricks, flyers and mailers, I give you templates. Newsletters, I do videos and explain how to create a newsletter, and I give you a template for free that you can use over and over. Follow up, it's everything from my email campaigns, my buyer and seller campaigns. I show you all of my videos that I use to sprinkle in with my clients and my leads, the vendor relationship. And then we talk about maintaining your current deals, knowing your market like a top agent. And that's kind of like the direction of the course. You're going to get, I just put a bunch of stuff on here, but these are like some of the templates you're going to get. It's going to tell you how to do it and give it the content for you so you can use it and reuse it. As Jeff Mass says, rip off and duplicate, R&D. So the other promo, like I said, you're going to get your template. I share the link with my template, and Marcus is going to send that out. And I'm going to take a sip of water. So that is all I have, Marcus. Now I'm ready for anything else.
Oh, wow. This is, I mean,
I know.
how many of
like
you
I
found
talk
that?
forever.
How many of you found this content amazing? Amazing. It's yes. This is the foundation of your success, is how you prioritize your time and focus on what matters most. So this is going to be something I think is going to be beneficial to everybody. But let's start with a little Q&A. And what I'll have you guys do is, if you have a question, there's a little reactions tab on the bottom of Zoom, and it allows you to raise your hand. And if you use that, oh, Leon jumped on it. Leon, you get the first opportunity. Go for it, brother.
Now, so just on your batch posting, Jenifer, are you just setting them up for the year and then just post them like maybe quarterly or whatever, seeing how things change up, and you don't want to be outdated before you get out the gate? Or what are you doing with that? Are those editable?
They're all editable, yes, even down from the color, but you get to put in your phone number and your agent picture so that everything's branded. You don't need to like even post words above it. But just so you know, it's nothing that would be outdated, because the templates I use are like, for instance, one of my summer templates, it's very nice colors, but you can change it whatever you want. And it has 3 scoops of ice cream, and it's, I forgot what day it is, but it's National Ice Cream Day, whatever that is. And it says, do you want to get the scoop on the real estate market? And then it has your information. So none of the posts are really anything that could be outdated. These are things to sprinkle in your content, because of course we're still going to post on social media when our grandkids are getting into the army, or when we just got a new puppy, or when we just closed a deal. So this is for everything else, to encourage a response and to get lots of likes and comments on. So it's not anything that would become out of date.
Adrian.
Hi, Jenifer.
Hey,
I'm
Adrian.
a fan. I've taken your course.
Oh, good.
The one that's related to street text. But I just was curious when I was looking at your introduction. How did you go about landing 14 transactions in your first year?
Yeah. So when I was preparing, remember, I learned everything there is to know about the company. I had my website set up. I had that time because I was still teaching. Then I had a mentor, because our company, when you're a new agent, you're partnered up. You are one-on-one. And he was fantastic, but he was going on a trip to Hawaii, and he calls me up and he says, listen, I have a client that I love. I mean, she's great, but I'm going to Hawaii and she's looking to buy a house. Why don't you take it? Like, you take it. And I was like, okay. So that was my first transaction, was someone that he had given me. And then from there, I set every open house. That specific client actually brought me 2 other clients. I aligned with Street Text right away when I started. And then I had a listing. I think during my trial, I got someone for a listing, and then it just perpetuated. But you got to remember too, I was doing it full time. And to me, I knew that if I didn't do it, I would have to go back to teaching. And after 12 years of teaching, while I love teaching, there was no way I couldn't do it. So I had to make it work. I had to.
Great. Thank you.
Great questions. Linda, go ahead.
Sorry, I had to take myself off the mute. Hi, Marcus. Hi, Jenifer. I was wondering, in your presentation, did you have a listing presentation? My trouble, but I can't seem to focus on, I'm not a closer. I'll do a listing presentation and they'll walk me to the car, they'll hug me, and then I don't get the I said, well, maybe it's my listing presentation, or I don't know.
Yeah,
you have one?
I think that I shared in the course, but if I don't, I'm putting a note. I will give it to you. But let me just tell you something about listings. I am like you, right? I'm a talker and I like to connect and I want to help people. Like, to me, it's never about the money. I truly want my clients to trust me and feel good about the process. So my mentor, while he was wonderful, he was the briefcase in the hand, iPad, presentation mode, And I thought, oh, I can never do this. I won't be able to because it's not my style at all. Here's what I do. Let me just tell you, Linda. So when someone schedules a meeting and they're like, yeah, you can come and confirm the value of my house and talk about the process or whatever, no problem. How's this time work? I'm like, perfect, no problem. I come in, but the day before I come in, I email them my listing presentation. I call it the pre-packet listing because it's going to brag on me and my testimonials and walk through the process of you consult with a realtor, you go over price, you do this, then this is what happens. The inspections take place, the appraisal, and it goes through the whole thing. And what I do is I then call them and say, hey, I just wanted to confirm our appointment tomorrow. Did you get the pre-listing packet? And they'll say, yes, I got it. And I'll say, listen, if you could make sure you watch that, because the last thing I want to do is come in your house and like talk about myself. And I don't want to do that. So this is going to be all about me, my business, and the process of selling. That way, when we come in, we're talking about your home, what you need. And that works. It takes the pressure off me. They get to see what I want them to see. And then I walk in their house. And first thing I say is, where can I put my stuff down? Where's good? They'll tell me. And I'll say, do you mind like letting me walk around your house? Do you want to come with me? I'm just going to take some notes. I take some notes. We sit at a table afterwards. They usually ask me if I want coffee. And I'm always like, yes, right? Like, let's share a drink or a little snack because that breaks the ice. And then I tell them, here's what I think we should do. Here's what I noticed. What are you thinking about the price? We go over the comps that I brought with them. And then I have the paperwork. And here's what I do. I open and say, listen, it's a lot of paperwork. I didn't write it. Do you want to at least go over it so you kind of know what's going on? Most of the time they say yes. Then we go over it. Once they have a good understanding, then I say, what would you like to do? Like, what's your thoughts? A lot of them will say, let's go ahead and sign. Or they'll say, I want to think about it. That's fine. Here's the information and we can touch base. But I usually find that it's much more relaxing for me. I'm not a presentation girl when I go and talk to someone. I feel very unnatural bragging about myself and my achievements. Like, ugh. So I will make sure I have it written down. If I don't already share that in the course, I'm going to give it in the course 100% because I have buyer ones and listing ones. So you can have it.
I have a couple of suggestions for Linda, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Linda, when you're walking out and they hug you and they kiss you and whatever, and just ask the question out of curiosity, is there anything else that you need to know? Because usually when you say that, you get a sense of whether they're going to sign or not.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing I do is I make them walk me through the property and I ask them to sell it to me because I'm using their quotes in my remarks. And they love that. So they walk through the house and they're going like, oh, this room is pink because blah, blah, blah. You take notes of what they say and then use it in your copy. They'll love you to death.
Oh, I love that idea. Sell it to me. Yeah, I love that. And yeah, Jenifer, thank you too.
Oh yeah.
All great information. I appreciate I'm taking notes. So if I was looking down, I'm taking notes.
Hey, Linda, add one more to that. Ask for the deal. Ask for the deal.
Exactly.
They give that presentation that you can water the eyes. It's so beautiful. And they need a box of Kleenex because it was just that great. But people, in order to close and seal the deal, you got to ask for the deal. Mm-hmm. Whether it's, so let me ask you this, what would you like for us to sit down and go on market? Even if they say they have someone else they're interviewing or whatever, ask when you can do the follow-up, but you got to ask for the deal because if the phone don't ring, we always assume we're the only ones. So if they had 5 or 6 other people in there, sadly, they might have lost your card or something in the confusion. Right. It is not always the best agent that gets the deal, but it's usually the one that asks for the deal that gets the deal.
Good point. All good points. I usually take a refrigerator magnet and that way I put it on the refrigerator because like you said, they lose cards and they lose things.
Ryan, you got a question?
Yeah, just curious. There's 2 Conversion Academy courses in that on Street Text. What's the difference?
Are they
think-
both mine or you? Because there's other people too that have made courses.
Yeah, there's one from Josh and one from you, and so I was just
Different, way different. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're going to look at Jenifer's original course, which is more street tech specific. And then what we just presented today, back to the basics.
Mhm.
They complement each other. So I would say in this perfect world, you buy them both together. If you have one, get the other. And if you don't have either, buy them together. Take advantage of the 50% discount because they're going to be
right. But I mean, I have the other one, the Conversion Academy. It's in
So back to the basics, what you want. So Conversion Academy is in the Street Text Academy one. You're going to want the back to basics. And if John, you could drop some links into the chat feature just to be able to distinguish between the two, as well as the coupon codes associated with those. That'd be awesome.
Okay, well, I'm not talking about the difference between the basic course and her basic course and her conversion course.
Josh is a separate one. So Josh would be something also that's very awesome, but completely different. They have way different teaching styles. Something you can look into as well. And we could probably get you some information or a webinar, I think, that he's done specifically on releasing that course.
And you should, because everyone has different styles. It's very, very important because honestly, like I learned so much from everyone, but truthfully, you have to find who you align with. Your thought process or the teaching style is very important because I took Josh's course too. Josh is great. Like I love everything he does, his scripts, his motivation. He's very out there, but our approaches are so different and that's okay. So definitely take a look.
Okay. So is it just approach? Because I have Josh's is what I'm getting at. I already have Josh.
So, I would have to go back and look at the specifics, but I know that a lot of the stuff that he uses, I don't use, like the Zoodelio or whatever that is. Like I know that some of the content and the approach, mine is more a deeper dive of like the actual process itself. And it goes more into actually sharing emails and templates with you guys rather than the ideas that you can kind of set up. A lot of my course is R&D. Like you can take it, you can rip it off, you could duplicate it, but they're both great. I mean, like I said, I've taken Josh's course too. So if you're going to ask if it's the same thing, it's not. It's very different. So you have to decide if you're ready for a refresher and you're ready to kind of gain some content and some templates that will kind of help serve where we are right now and in the market. Because I mean, I buy as many courses as I can afford because honestly, I think it's very, very important just to have different ideas and insight.
Okay,
I think,
thanks.
Brian, I've taken both Josh's and Jenifer's. They're just different structures to their courses. There's different. They both give away, etc. Josh is completely different. Jenifer is a lot more structured. Follow the line, and you will be successful. Right. Josh is a way more. He's not more creative. He's just different. But they're both good.
So there is a benefit. There is a benefit to having both, I guess, is what I was getting at.
I think so.
Okay.
Any other questions?
And another thing, and I tell this to everybody because I think it's helpful, like a lot of you I've spoken to on the phone, like a lot of you reach out and call, like I love it. And in my course, I actually say, if you have questions or you just want to chat business, I give my Calendly link and schedule a time and let's chat, because I promise I'll learn just as much from you as you learn from me. But it's really cool to kind of talk about what's working, what you've tried. And I'm always down for a good conversation. So seriously, don't hesitate, because a lot of you I've spoken to, and I have people, who was it? I wonder if he's in here, but I just spoke to someone and he texted me like, thanks for, chatting with me and I'm coming today. So you guys really should reach out for sure. Pet, yeah, I hope I'm saying your name right, but what studio do you got going on? Because I'm like, okay, I want that set up. This ring light, even though I turned it the other way, like it doesn't do well with my glasses. And I'm like, you've got little umbrellas and stuff. Like, what do you got going on?
I'm sorry about that. I mean, today was filming day, so
I like it.
I put my green screen away, but I didn't put away the lights.
And is that in your house?
Yes, that's my office.
Nice.
Thank you. I love plants, so I just did myself right. That's why.
Yeah, she's brand new to street text. She's just
Oh
starting,
my
so
gosh.
it's exciting.
Yeah,
Yes,
that is
I literally
exciting.
signed up like a couple of days ago. I still don't have like running ads, but I'm getting there.
Yeah, no, you have to use the running ads while you got the free trial. Seriously,
I skipped that part. I already signed in.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yes.
run your ad and get those
And
leads coming in.
she's got the background with Krista Mayshore too, so she's ready.
Nice.
Yes, I'm
That's
ready.
awesome.
Yes. Unfortunately, I have to jump off because they have office hours and I need help with some ads. But this was amazing, and I will get back to you.
It was nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
Love it. Any other questions? Is a perfect time.
I have one question.
Mike, go ahead, Mike.
I'm pretty new to street text. So for split testing the ads, do you run them for like a couple days and then you take a look at them and then basically cancel the one with the highest CPM?
Can you let's just pretend that Marcus and Jonathan aren't here, because Logan has a whole strategy and for how long you should run it. And I don't do that because I can figure it out like much sooner, I think. But you didn't hear me say that. It's not street text advice, okay? These are my own views. But what I do is I run 3 identical ads and then I set it and run like it's 3 o'clock now. It's time for me to do my weekend ads because in this market, I'm only concentrating on that few days. So when I get off of here, I'm going to run 3 ads identical and I'm going to just let it do its thing. And tomorrow about this time, I'm going to take a look and see, okay, who's got leads. And one of them may have 5 leads, but only 1 email address. And then I might have one that has 3 solid leads, full leads. So I'll kind of look at that and say, well, this one had more leads, but less emails. This one is targeting people giving me full information. I turn off the others and I let it roll. So.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. And then kind of piggybacking off that, I noticed that the information for the conversion funnel ads, it gives you their like home address if they want like a home evaluation. It doesn't give their phone number, and sometimes it doesn't give their name. It just gives their email address and their actual like home address. What's just curious to know your thoughts on like how to proceed with that to try to convert those people into listings.
Actually, I've never minded about the phone number thing because a lot of times they may not be working phone numbers. It doesn't bother me. There's other ways that I kind of get them. The text and email script that I share with you today, I'm telling you, very good. Maybe it's the subject line, but it's very good. So what I do is, let's say we have an address and an email and no name. Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of times people have their name in the email or something like it. Like it'll say GR Drummer Boy, right? And I'll look up the address, and like we have GIS. You guys probably have something. You just look it up and it gives you tax information. And I look, and if the owner is like Brenda Smith and then Gary Smith, I'm like, oh, that's GS Drummer Boy. So I'll fill in the name Gary Smith, because trust me, someone will correct you. My name's not Gary, right? But most of the time I can figure out that way. But what I do is I start the campaign, but I make sure everyone has a name. One of them, this is funny, I wish I shared this script, but I had someone come through, no lie. Their name was written Troy Boys with a Z, OG Man. And I'm like, okay, right? That was their name. So I did the follow-up email, and the email, he actually responded to me and gave me his phone number that he's ready to chat. So when I call him, no lie, I'm like, this is Jenifer. You've kind of been looking on my site for like a few months. And I said, so Troy Boys OG Man, we're sticking with that as a name, right? And he started laughing. He tells me the whole story about his alias and why it's an alias. He then gave me his real name. I plugged it right in. But the thing is, if they put something like, Ebony Cross-Eye as the name, I leave it in. At least when I email them, they'll know, okay, yeah, that's my alias. But I don't stress about it, but I do fill in a name. So if it's no name, I literally look up on GIS. And if I can't figure out the email, I'll put both of their names. if it's two people that live there. So if it's like Pat and, you know, Tom Hanks or whatever, I'll just say, hi, Pat and Tom, and do it that way. But I always put in a name.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Michelle.
Okay, so I have 3 questions. One, what do you do with when they like the ad? When people just randomly like it, but they don't do anything with it?
I click on the like button and it shows you who's liked it.
Yeah.
I click on it and I press the invite button and I invite them to follow my business page.
And that's all you do with them.
Yes, that's all I do with them at first. Now, if I see that they're liking other things, I might reach out on Facebook Messenger, because again, if they're coming to you on Facebook, trust me, you are not overstepping by sending a message. So if I invite them, a lot of times they'll follow or they won't, but I'll see that they're consistent, that they've liked a few things. That's when I may reach out and say something like, thanks for liking my content. Are you in the area? Like, I don't just ask, are you looking to buy a house or sell a house? Because people go like this. Too much. It's too much.
Okay. And then in street text, do you do video inside of street text?
I actually did everything inside of street text at first, but I found this really cool tool that I am not going to confuse everybody with, but you can connect it with Zapier to go to your CRM. So when I did it out of street text and used street text as my CRM, I did my videos and my funnels, everything right there. But there is a way to connect with, you know, Follow Up Boss and KB Core, and I'm sure a million others. And all of the leads go directly to my CRM, and my email campaigns start from there, which do have emails. So you could do it either way.
Okay, that's cool. And then how many ads do you run at a time? And then also, what is your process to what time, when do you start putting them on a drip? When does your process start happening?
Okay, so the first question is, what was the first question?
How many ads do you run at a time?
Yeah, I got distracted. Somebody was walking around and it's like, woo, I'm just watching them walk around their house. It depends on the market and everything like that. So when I've had several closings, right? To me, I run 2 ads, 3 ads, and I feel very comfortable with that. When things are a little tighter and, you know, because I'm very cost conscious, where can I cut? Where can I add? I never stop spending on my ad. But like right now, I'm running 1 ad Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but I'm also running 2 remarketing ads, and the remarketing costs me like $1 or $2 a day plus the platform fee. So that's what I'm doing now. 1 is completely fine because I'm taking this time in this market really to concentrate on my past prospects that have been there. I have pages and pages, and the best thing I can get from them is, oh, I've already bought a house, you know, kick myself, but at least I can remove them. Let's sort through who's still looking, who still wants, who still needs to clear their bankruptcy. That's what I want to engage in right now. So if you're a newer agent and you don't have a lot of the past prospects and you have the funds to perhaps run 2 ads, run the 2 ads, try a seller and a buyer one, get some funnels and leads coming in. And to answer your next question is, my email campaigns start right away. I don't know what CRM you're with, but and we're not going to get into a whole conversation, but I'm happy to do like a one-on-one call if you need some help with it. But what you do is in street text or Zapier, you can set up hashtags. Okay. It's very easy to do. It just sounds complicated, I know. But for instance, if I'm running a seller ad, I could do hashtag sellers. Well, in my CRM, it allows me to do when a hashtag comes in as sellers, the system is automatically smart enough to assign it to a campaign that starts immediately. I don't have to press a button and say, okay, we're going to start the seller campaign. You can do it that way. If you don't have a lot of leads, by all means, you can do it manually. So don't feel like you have to go out and do this right this second. But you can use your CRM to recognize that when someone comes in, hashtag buyers, that it automatically sets them up with property alerts that you set, and automatically sets them up with a campaign, because my buyers are getting property alerts and the campaign. And I talked about this before. Studies have shown that for buyers, the biggest conversion for them online is not your email campaign. It's good to do it well, but it's not number one. Number one is the pretty pictures, the property alerts. If they're interested in homes with a downstairs main bedroom, and then they're seeing that in their inbox, now they're engaged. They like it, they favorite it, they save it, they ask a question. For your sellers, it's not your email campaign. That's good and great, but the response comes from most likely the market reports that you turn on and they send out every 28 days for their zip code or their neighborhood. Oh, look what just sold in my neighborhood. Oh, wow, home prices are going up. Oh, wow, there's more buyers in our area. That's what gets them. So setting that up ahead of time is very important. And it's not going to be perfect. I actually, this week, went back through all my old leads. It took me days, but I did it to make sure everyone had a property alert, had an email campaign, that I looked through their content and I tried to reach out to them, but I did it all of them.
Okay, so what about the ones that you've never spoken to? You never spoke to them. You just, that's what you do. You just put them on. You don't speak to them, but you just throw them.
I try to speak to everyone right away, but a lot of times they won't answer, and that's okay because you're going to keep doing it. But everyone, the moment they come through, they are a lead in your database that are set up with the property alert or a market report, and automatically set up with your email campaign that will, message them every few days. And then I send out a newsletter, which I give you the template in my course, maybe once a month, maybe every 2 weeks. It doesn't have to be so rigid, and a lot of this works for you. Let it work. And then your job is, when you look at your schedule, and we talk about that also in the course, is allotting some time aside to try to reach out to prospects. If you're not in a place you can call, you can send a text. It has to be something that will get a response. And that's kind of what I show you in the course as well.
So are you tagging out a street text before you push it over?
For me, I'm doing Zapier, but I know street text has the ability to do the tagging as well in street text, but I just do the hashtags in Zapier.
So let's say coming out of street text, the lead comes in, whether it's buyer or seller.
Yeah.
You're zapping it into your CRM. And then your process is to tag it, whether it's hashtag or whatever, once it's in your CRM.
No. Street text automatically tags it as a buyer or seller, right? It goes to Zapier. When you're setting up your Zap, it has an option that says hashtags, and you separate it by, what is the thing? The straight line up and down. What is that called? So you can assign as many as you want. So for buyers, I may say buyers. And if they're looking at townhomes under 400,000, I'll put townhomes. And when it goes to my CRM, KV Core, if you're with them, I don't know about anyone else's, but other ones are smart too. There is a part of your area. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, Google this, okay? For me, you can Google KV Core hashtag management in Google. There is a way in KV Core that you put the hashtag, let's say buyers, townhomes, and you can tell it, listen, when someone comes in with that townhomes, they're looking in Johnston County, townhomes under 400,000. Here's the property alert I want you to start running. Every day, I want you to send them all available townhomes under 400,000 in Johnston County. And the buyers hashtag, I want you to know that when someone comes over hashtag buyers, you're starting my email campaign for buyers. It's automatic. So they come to me, everything's done. I don't have to do anything except nurture them with phone calls, a sprinkle in a video or a newsletter. But the hard part of it's done already. Now, don't feel overwhelmed. That took me years, guys. I was manually doing it, and that's okay. Like, if you're getting 5-10 leads a day, you could do it. But eventually, if you have other things going on, you don't want to have to. And there are ways in your CRM to make it functional and work for you. That's what the purpose of a CRM is. So you don't have to.
And I would add on to that, that you are also remarketing to them. right? And so your
Yes.
everything's going on with your CRM, everything's going with the property search, everything's going on with the reports they're getting, but you're also staying in front of them on social through your
Yeah.
marketing and the ad bundle. So it's never becoming ad fatigue. They're already seeing something new, and you can see that return lead come back to you. So that's another advantage that you want to take
Every
control
day.
of, especially in this market. Yes.
If you're new, if you're
Yeah.
street text, please don't even like listen to this. That'll come later. But those of you that decided to do the remarketing and you have like 1,000 leads or hundreds of leads, the remarketing, I wish I didn't like it so much, but I love it because you know, when you talk about like shoes or something, I don't talk about shoes. I'm not a shopper, but let's just pretend I did. I'm talking about shoes. And then all of a sudden I go to my computer and like, won't you know, they're like shoes on my website, right? Like they're listening. Well, same thing. Krista Mayshore, who actually comes on here too. Okay. She's a pain in my behind. And I'll tell you why. I like her so much. She's so good. But I swear to you, I looked up one thing about her and now she follows me around the internet everywhere I go. It's like Krista Mayshore, Krista Mayshore. And I'm like, I want to be like her. So the remarketing, there you go. You've got someone who clicked on your ad. They're getting emails from you. Now they're online and they're seeing a testimonial from me. Man, she must be good. I have people call me all the time and they're like, yeah, I mean, I've really seen all your stuff. Like you're really big, you're out there. And I'm like, that's great. You know, no, it's because I targeted your behind from day one, like a stalker. Remarketing is great on street text. So if you're at that phase where you're kind of ready, you've got like tons of leads, do it. It's like $1 a day for the ad. And then whatever the platform fee is, what is it, like 50 a month? But I dig it. And I have had a lot of return clients that resumed interest all of a sudden. It's been really cool. Really cool.
Jenifer,
Brian, you got another question? Oh, Kyle, go ahead.
So I'm also with the XP, so that's
Woo,
good.
woo.
KV Core Vox, I love it.
Yes.
Do you have campaigns in your KV Core that are clonable?
I do, and I give them away in my class. All
Okay.
of them. I told you it's very transparent. Like I'm not one of those like you're going to get it all.
Okay.
Brian.
Yeah, this is just kind of a quirk. I'm running a new construction ad, and I've run other ads, but for some reason I'm getting a whole bunch of comments on the new construction ad. I didn't know that Facebook ads were really set up to get comments like a regular Facebook post. Is that?
What kind of comments are you getting, good or bad? Because I like them both and I don't delete them.
Oh, okay. Well, I just thought I didn't get any on other ads that I ran, so I didn't know if I did something wrong or if it was a glitch or something. But
no,
they were kind of a mix of feedback, but I was just surprised that they responded so much to that one and not to other.
It's great. And so the one thing you need to do, okay, because it helps your algorithm, every comment on there, you need to like it or, you know, do a reaction and comment on it. Now, if you were to get a negative comment like, huh, yeah, you know something about new construction. For me, I'd respond with something funny, like, you know, the photos and like with someone in a construction hat and be like, yeah, I mean, maybe you know more and like just kind of joke with it, but never delete a comment unless it's like racist or really derogatory. But comments help you be seen on the internet. So this post must have just connected with the right people, the right targeting, and take advantage of it, because as you get comments going, Facebook will increase your relevance and your ad will actually be seen by more people. So I'd go back and respond to all of them.
Okay. I responded to most of them. Good to know.
100%, Brian. I've seen ads, they literally cut your cost per lead in half. I remember Donna Allman, I believe, had a rent-to-own ad that had hundreds of comments. So that could be a huge, tremendous advantage for you, of which a lot of people forget. They think they're just paying the ad and they're going to let it go be sponsored, but you can take it personally and share it to groups you're a part of or have created, to your own personal Facebook. There's just many ways to do it organically above and beyond what you're spending and telling Facebook to do.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we're 20 minutes past, so we're going to kind of cut it to the end here. Is there any last minute questions for Jenifer before we let you all go?
I'm sorry, I just came out of a meeting. Is there a discount code for her class there? Oh, okay, I see it.
Yes,
Thanks.
yes. Gotta get the
100%. So
discount.
there's back to basics without the 2, I believe, or did he make it all 1 now? It's back to basics without the 2 if you're just getting to the 1 course. If you're doing the double course, it's back to basics 2. Anyways, if you have any issues about getting that discount, just send an email to support@streettext.com and we'll make sure you get that discount.
Yes, and Troy will be handling all of those questions.
Thank you all. That was amazing, Jenifer. Wow, so much content.
Much fun. And it was nice of you to show up in a shirt today, Marcus. Tell you what.
Hey, my pleasure. I'll try to keep it PG.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.